Welcome to class. We're going to be taking some time to rest the mind, to have that mind and body percolate together, and so that when we walk off of the mat, we feel that sense of unity between mind and body, which is such an essential principle in yoga. So I hope you're doing well. Let's take the hands to the thighs in a seated position. You can take this seated position on a chair or on the floor, in whatever seated position is comfortable for your body. Inhale and exhale. Feel our connection already in awareness of the body and the breath and how that shifts the energy. Inhale, exhale. The noticing begins. And we land here in the present moment. Feel free to close the eyes. Begin that noticing, going a little deeper. Begin to notice the third eye. And take that inner perception, that sensing. So we'll doing today's practice, we'll do that sensing rather than using our vision, using that inner sensing to unify mind and body. Inhale, exhale. Notice the quality of your breath. Notice the quality of your energetic body, meaning just the subtle flavor of your present moment. And then notice the energy of your physical body. Notice the structures that help keep us seated in whatever seat's comfortable. Keeping our sits bones as our anchor, we can build a tower. The hips and seeing that inner eye to the spine rising up past the lumbar curve to the ribs. Taking those ribs and just noticing the physicality of the breath and the structures that help keep this posture and breath together, muscles coordinating. And then on up past the shoulder blades. Shoulders glide away from the ears. We lengthen that space between the ears and the shoulders as we line them up. And then right away, we feel a little more connection there in that energetic connection of the spine through the crown of the head. Just by noticing our breath, noticing the structure of the breath in the body. Let's take the right hand, face the palm upward, and the left palm downward, and continue your breath. Taking that 3-part breath, so really sending that first part down to the pelvis and the belly, and then the second part to the chest, and the third part all the way up to the shoulders, and then exhale, shoulders, chest, belly. Another breath of this counting, evenness, settling the flurry of the mind with our breath. And then we'll switch the hands so that the right hand is down and the left hand is up. Further noticing of these energy centers of the body, the palms, how this feels to the mind, to keep that palm upward on one side and the other grounded, facing down, so that we can receive with one side and feel more connected to our anchor on the other side. Continue that 3-part breath. And gently take that right hand and face the palm up. So we have both palms up. And we notice, again, some subtleties here rather than some super obvious physicality. More, what does that feel to the mind to keep those palms upward? Noticing again, softening your awareness, sensing the ground beneath you, and sensing a lightness from above. And then taking the palms down towards the thighs, we'll just feel again, drawing the energy up into the palms through the anchor of the earth. More noticing, more awareness. And then as we notice and send intention, we can change things up. Perhaps the breath can connect with the earth a little more and feel that conduit of the spine, the highway of our nervous system, the pathway between the mind and the body. Now we've freed up our eyes to get more awareness of the inner body. We can flutter the eyes open and now notice the difference between taking in your physical surroundings from before we went inward and now. Exhale fully. Excellent. Take the thumbs to the back of the skull and take the fingertips to the scalp. Just feel the pressure of your fingers on your scalp, just nice and gentle, giving some gentle massage there. The thumbs circle outward at the base of the skull, sending nice, calm reverberations through the head. Maybe the jaw loosens already. And then we take those circles inward as we exhale and slide right into that rhythm of 3-part breath. And then we take the fingertips to the third eye, the middle finger. Again, the sense of stillness. So as if there's a flurry of the mind can be represented in just wind and leaves in the wind. And then just to visualize them settling as the winds calm. Keep that vision in the third eye. Let's take our fingertips across the eyebrows to the temples and massage the temples backward towards the back body. With that same gentle pressure, we'll take that forward. So feel that reverberation, subtlety through the body of your energy as you give yourself that self-nurturing. And then we'll take our thumb and index to the ears and just pull gently outward on the ears. So we've got that skull, that cradle for the brain, and all of that mind activity, just kind of giving it a sense of freedom. Loosen the jaw. Beautiful. Let's rise up with the hands towards the sky, link the thumbs together, and then the palms forward. So again, feeling that energy of our palm energy forward through the middle of the palms and that communication path down the body. So we're cascading ourselves with breath here as we reach up, spread out those fingers. And then as we exhale, let's find the hips and the shoulders aligned and roll the shoulders away from the ears down towards the hips. So we have that anchor. And let's begin movement around that anchor. So swaying side to side. The opposite side is our grounding, left as we lean right, right as we lean left. Take that noticing awareness to the ribs, making space there for a bigger breath. And then reach on up to the sky. Imagine a block between your hands as the palms come towards each other, holding a sense of holding here of some lovely bright energy between your hands. And then we'll swirl our wrists down in one direction, as we take the elbows towards the ribs. And then we can change the direction of the circle. We can go up one more time and then back down. Just the beauty of the movement here. And then taking our hand, right hand to the left inner arm, so that forearm. And just taking the hand and massaging down the arm. You can take the thumb on top and the fingers below. Allow that thumb to reach and stroke downward towards the palm. And when you've reached the palm, you can give it a little massage outward towards the fingertips. And then just take your fingers around that opposite hand and squeezing the thumb, index, middle, ring, and pinky. Great. Let's switch to the other side so that our left hand is on the inner part of the right hand, right arm, and then take the thumb on top and just squeeze and give yourselves some self-nourishment for the energy of our spine to fluidly follow that highway down to the extremities, right? So we're clearing the pathway where there might be choked traffic, and then taking our thumb to the palm, making nice circles, and then some pathway towards the fingers. And then we take that left hand and just wrap it around the thumb, opposite thumb, index, middle, ring, and pinky. Inhale, exhale. Let's reach the arms out to T-arms as we look over the right side. And feel that reach, pressing the left hand into that imaginary wall, flossing the nerves. If you ever need to change your seated position, please feel free to do so. Sliding the left hand back. Inhale, celebrate your breath, 3-part breath. Exhale, sliding the hand forward as we come to facing our soft neutral gaze. We're going to take the right hand down to the floor, fingertips or palm, and then reach up to a nice luxurious longer side bend. So we lean towards our right side. Open up, lengthen the left side. Take the palm back towards the back of the room. Complete exhale. Coming on back up, finding yourself wrapping around the center line in this reaching as we look over our left fingertips. That subtle, soft gaze into the distance, taking the right hand flat against an imaginary wall, noticing the nerve path there. We've already cleared out some pathways, so we feel that along the right arm, and then slide the hand backwards. Inhaling, sliding the hand back, and then looking forward with our T-arms, aligning up, crown of the head to the throat and the heart and the center of the pelvis. And then we'll take that left hand down, lean on over, fingertips or palm as our anchor, and keeping that right hip down on the surface of your blanket or seat. We're going to use that solidity to create fluidity on top. Complete exhales, 3 parts. Cleaner inhale. Clean the energy out. Beautiful. Come on back up. Lift the arms up towards the sky, palms up, and then the back of the hands together. Inhale, clean out the energy in front by parting the seas here. Bringing back to center. And then back into center, sweep it on up to the sky. And then flutter the fingertips down to the crown of the head. Again, just feeling that energy warmth towards the skull, inside the skull to the brain. Swipe the hands down towards the neck. Slide them along the sides of the neck, lengthening that distance between the shoulders and the neck. And then out to the fingertips go to the shoulders as we take circles with our elbows back, following the path of breath, knowing our own limits about how big we want those circles to go, because we're reading the energy and reading the breath as we take the elbows forward. Lovely. And then as the fingertips drop down using gravity, we're going to take the fingertips to the floor, pressing through the fingertips, take the thumbs forward and the fingertips back. So again, we notice the difference. Broadness across the heart, clearing the pathway. Look over your right shoulder. Exhale over to the other side. Looking soft gaze to the front, neutral, look up at the sky. Inhale, fresh new energy. Exhale, chin towards the collarbones. Softness and sensing. Scanning as we move to the energetic body. Inhale, look up again. As we lengthen through an inhale, we're going to take our right ear toward right shoulder and press through the left fingertips. Adjust this movement as you need to, bringing those fingertips closer. Feeling a release and a lengthening on the left side. Right hand to right ear, we help that head up, keeping the length. Exhaling to the other side as the right fingertips feel docked down. Notice the release. What does this do to the energetic body to release and give that attention? Transforms to intention, and then we do respond. Take the left hand to the left ear as we lift on up and just look right to left to center ourselves again around that center orbit. Inhale and exhale. Feel that relief and freedom. Let's just take the hands to the heart in our Anjali Mudra. So we feel the connection of our hands together and just take that awareness to the spine, to that column, that highway. Notice as you exhale. And we're going to shift it now to our quadruped. So taking ourselves to tabletop. We're going to move things aside and we will use our props later. Right now, just use that handy blanket underneath the shins. And we're going to take the forearms down to the floor, elbows lined up with the shoulders. So we're coming into that diagonal with the spine. So the channel of the spine gets a chance to connect energy and exchange with the skull, with the brain and the oxygen there. Just notice that diagonal. As you draw the line with your breath, inhale all the way to the base of the spine. We find the center of the pelvis, that energetic root, and then draw that root up with the pelvic floor muscles towards the crown of the head as you exhale. Just more cascading as if it's a brook of water going downhill towards the head as you roll those shoulders away from the ears. Cleaning out more energy. So from here in this diagonal, we'll look down at between the hands and separate the shoulder blades and then bring them together. Noticing we have our anchor of the forearms and the shins, separate the shoulder blades. Keeping that steadiness in the base of our root, so the pelvis. We're getting more flexibility behind the heart. Inhale up, exhale, drop down. And then come on back up. As we take a forearm cat-cow, let's bring the hands to prayer position. So we have a little more closing of the chain of energy. Palms press into each other. The sides of the hands press into the floor. And we have, again, the anchor of the forearms, elbows below the shoulders, press down, press together. Keep that connection and turn the tailbone towards the floor. Feel the navel coming towards the spine. Just drop the head down. So only as extreme as you need to go with this curve. Just feel that tracing of energy and then lift the tailbone up towards the sky. As you lift your gaze up and then back. Curling into that inward sense of inward energy and then exhale up to our adapted cow. One more time. 3 parts. Exhale. And then take the forearms and the palms to the floor and reach the hips back towards the heels. We're going to take those knees back. So we're taking ourselves to puppy pose here. So take the shins back and reach that forehead to the floor and feel the arms reaching out. Palms are our anchor here and spread the fingers. Feeling the length of our spine here reaching towards the sits bones. As you exhale, notice gravity easing you towards the earth. And then lift up using that core energy back on up to the forearms. And then we're going to lift up into our tabletop. So we're taking a nice framework here, bringing those knees closer. Let's take a nice solid frame here with the tabletop where we're comfortable. Keep the forearms down if that's more comfortable for you. Inhale and exhale. Let's find that frame. So keeping that base awareness of the root. Draw the navel slightly towards the spine, back of the ribs lift slightly up towards our bright sky, and exhale, sending the energy to the crown of the head. So to use 2 more breaths to steady the pelvis, to steady the frame of the shoulders towards the hips. Really noticing the abdominals lift and spread out towards the outer part of the body to steady our posture. Inhale, exhale, we're going to reach the right leg back and curl the toes under. So notice as you reach that right leg back, this is more subtlety here. Notice the abdominals stay engaged. Bring the knee forward again on the right side. Inhale, exhale, steady. And then allow that leg to go back. As it goes back and they curl the toes under, feel the steadiness of the front body that's facing down. So awareness, if we were the quadrupeds, we would have that steadiness on the front body, even as we reach back. Now with that curled toes, we're going to just rock back and forth. And inhale and exhale. And from here, we're finding that framework again, shoulders to hips. Sacrum, you could balance a nice beverage on your sacrum. Lift those low ribs so we get those abdominals engaged. Inhale. Exhale, lift the right leg up. So notice that steadiness. Hugging in, noticing the support muscles we have here. Lift the left arm next to left ear. Another adaptation, if the wrists bother you here, is to come down, or the knees, is to come down flat on the belly and try locust pose. So you can just lift the arm and the leg there. Otherwise, join me here and take the left hand down and the right knee back down. You can lean back into child's and just take a stretch for your wrists, taking the palms up towards the sky and then down again. And inhale back, keeping awareness of the abdominals, lifting up towards the spine and out so we support the structure. Inhale, exhale, reach the left leg back. So notice as you reach the left leg back, curl the toes under. Let's bring it back forward again. So we notice as we take smaller movements, what bigger muscles support us. Exhale again, fortify, and take that leg back. Curl the toes under and slide back and forth. Again, on the belly, reaching in our locust pose. Another perfect adaptation here if you're uncomfortable on the wrists. Find your steady framework. Inhale, exhale, hug into the midline energetically and physically, and then lift that left leg off the floor. Balance the beverage on your sacrum. Lift the right arm next to right ear. Hold, take it down again. Gravity brings us right back down. And now that we have that slower movement and subtlety, we can take ourselves to the other side and notice all of those amazingly unified structures that hold us strong. And come back down. Try the other side. Really using the exhale to draw that line and trace the line from our mind, from the brain to the body. And reaching back, and other side. And try another rotation here so we get our strength and core built up. Matching the breath and the movement, keeping the gaze soft. Coming back to puppy or child's pose, bringing the palms forward, taking the forehead down, noticing energetically we're settling and landing again. So the flurry has a chance to calm down. Inhale into the back of the ribs, feel those shoulder blades spreading out, allowing room for breath. Exhale, release the heart, release the head. Find the stillness, the anchor, the landing. Inhale back up as we're going to move towards our standing sequence. And we're going to curl the toes under, lift the knees off the mat. And we're going to walk the hands and the feet towards each other so we meet in the middle. Just a note, you'll probably have to move that blanket aside before you walk. So there you go. Walk them towards each other. So we find ourselves in the middle of our mat, spreading the feet out, hip width apart, bending the knees, ribs find the thighs, hands on the floor, find a block if you want to get altitude a little higher, and then reach, just hang the head down as we feed the brain with oxygen, and sit back so that the knees stay behind the toes. If you need a chair for help or a stool, you can have that as your support. Taking the fingertips to the floor, we're going to press strong through those roots of the fingertips and then lift up into a flat back. So you inhale into the back body, feeling that sense of floating on upward, and then take the hands to the thighs. And again, a sense of grounding as the hands come towards the thighs and we come on up, hinging at the hips towards our mountain pose. Hands on the hips as you come up, keep the knees bent here. Yeah. And then come on up, straightening them out, lifting through the quadriceps. We can build our tower up toward mountain pose. Let's visualize that mountain, release the arms next to the body, palms forward. So we notice as we open the palms forward, we're broadening across the collarbones, opening the heart, keeping that sense of opening across the collarbones, bring the palms inward. So we had that receiving energy forward, and then exhaling solidity as we bring the palms towards the body. And visualize a mountain of your that you may have seen that was inspiring to you as we keep that steadiness, mind and body, fluid motion. Beautiful. If you have any props on the mat, we can just move those aside as we take in some standing poses now. All right, let's find that mountain pose and take the hands to the hips. We're going to reach back towards a high lunge. So begin to step back with your right foot towards the back of the mat, curling the toes under like we were doing in our quadruped. taking that stance that's the most comfortable for your body. As the hands stay on the hips and you exhale, notice you're going to guide that pelvis so that the tailbone points down. And allow yourself to bend that front knee and ease into a nice, even high lunge. So we feel the reach through the back heel, comfortably curling those toes under. And from here, we can feel the length from the back heel on up to the pelvis. Again, drop that tailbone. Exhale. As you inhale, lift the arms up towards the sky. Feel the evenness there between the hands as we were doing from seated. Now take your left hand to the right hip and just stroke the hand on up towards the right fingertips. Keep that connection going, that fluidity. Left hand grabs the right wrist on the way up, and then we just lean slightly over towards the left, keeping the pelvis nice and steady and the hips forward. Side bend. Inhale, back on up, orbit around the center, sweep the arms down, and the hands come to the hips. Yes. And we're going to tiptoe on up back to our mountain. From here in the mountain, we're going to take a break here before we go to the other side, taking the feet out a little wider apart. We're going to do our Tai Chi twist. So fluidity, right? So we're going to take the arms and just softly sweep them out to the side like those tetherball around the pole, right? The pole being our center, our midline, and these arms sweeping out, keeping that connection, but taking a contact and tapping the front of the body, the shoulder height, and then the back of the body at the glutes or the back of the kidneys. So this is just a way to keep that dynamism in the body. And use the eyes here, looking side to side, feeling the eyes change their gaze, and how that's connected in with the spine and the skull. And you can increase the tapping, softening through the knees. And then when you've reached that speed that's comfortable for you and your breath, come on and start to slow it down back to our orbit. Lovely. Let's take the hands so that they end up back on the hips and we keep those feet back to hip width apart. Inhale, exhale, guide that tailbone down. Low ribs tuck in. Great. Now we're going to reach back with our left foot and tiptoe so we find a comfortable stance for the feet towards a high lunge. And we tiptoe back as we bend that front knee. And build the frame here. Find the steady. So we've got the feet connected energetically and the legs. And then we feel the spine reaching up, right? And reach the arms up. Imaginary block between the hands, or better yet, positive energy, golden ball of energy. And then begin to take the right hand towards the left hip and then use the inside of your hand, your palm, to stroke on upward towards the fingertips. And then take the right hand to the left wrist. And from here, we're going to keep the pelvis steady as we lean on over towards the right. So we're lengthening things all the way on that left side from the heel on up to the hands. Use your breath to wind yourself back on up to vertical and then sweep the hands to the hips. Step forward to mountain. Again, find mountain. This time, let's greet the mountain pose with a prayer position at the heart. Look right and look left with the chin turning as well. Look forward, gaze up, and then gaze towards the prayer position, tucking the chin And then find your neutral gaze. Sweep the arms back behind you, linking the fingertips. Hold your own hand back there. Allow the thumbs to rest at the sacrum. Again, just keep that noticing awareness of the structures. So we keep a nice tall posture. Yes, release the hands, palms towards the body. Now we're going to switch it up. So we're facing our long way on the mat. And let's take our feet out to wide position. Yes. And we're going to take the arms up towards our diagonal so we feel that star shape, brightness into our center. As you exhale, feel that drawing towards the center, the very center of the center. So the center of our torso, energetic power center. And as you inhale, expand towards the feet and the hands. And then bring your arms down to T position. And we're going to switch the feet up. So we're taking a right proud warrior stance. And drawing the feet together here. Inhale, exhale, take that center down, moving our elevation down. So we take our bent right knee, making sure it's behind the two toes, just a little reminder since it's been a while since we did this. And only take it as deep as you need to today. Look over your right fingertips. Draw a line from your right fingers to the left fingers. Yes, take the left hand down towards the left hip, left thigh. Take the right hand up. Peaceful warrior. Sending out that peaceful energy, peaceful wishes. And then sweep yourself back on to proud warrior. Look forward. From here in proud warrior, you can straighten that front knee, whatever is more comfortable for you. Right here as we look forward in with our feet in our proud warrior, we're going to sweep the right arm under the left just for fun. Eagle arms here. So right under left. Just mixing up our poses here, a mix and match. Taking those eagle arms in front, pressing the back of the hands together or wrapping around. Sweeping on back, arms out as we take ourselves back to center, pivoting the feet so we're in our parallel position. Take the hands to the hips. Inhale, exhale. So even with the feet wide out here, let's draw the energy from the arches of the feet inward on the legs. So we feel a sense of center and then expand from there. Arms out again into that star shape. Yes. And now with the arms down to T, we're going to take those left toes out to the left. Inhale, exhale, dropping into proud warrior, lining up our left heel with the right arch. Let's take that center awareness, pivot the eyes over towards the left fingertips. There's a beautiful sparkly light of energy between the left fingertips and the right. The center at our spine, clearing the path. And then bring the gaze back forward. You can feel free to straighten that left knee, taking the left under right. So we're going into our combo of proud warrior feet with our eagle arms. Steady the gaze, steady the mind. And then we'll sweep ourselves open, taking the feet back to parallel. We can bring the feet a little bit closer as we take our star balance. So from that star energy, inhale, exhale, reaching out and expanding. Let's lean on over to the right, onto the right foot, draw up the energy through the arch of that foot, on up the quadriceps, and then lean over exhaling, hugging that orbited midline of the body. Feeling that electric brightness of a star. And then land again. Lots of landings today. Bring the hands to the hips. Just recenter. Inhale, exhale, relax the shoulders. Draw them away from the ears so we lengthen out there. And then reach out to star shape again. And slightly bend that left knee as we come on up. And then straighten, drawing again. Pulling that gravity energy upward, up the left leg. Exhaling right into that diagonal midline of our body. Softening and steadying our gaze. Let's come back down. Nice job there. Let's keep those feet parallel. Hands on hips. Inhale. Exhale, let's fold forward. If you need a block to land, to lift your altitude up a little bit, or bring the floor towards you, you can do that. As we take a flat back here, fingertips on the floor or on a block. Inhale, and then exhale. Use this exhale to release the spine and drape it down. As we give more energy of that lovely oxygenation to the brain, and release the neck. Take the palms down. Now we have another anchor here through the palms. Bend the elbows and release the head. Lifting back up into flat back, let's take a therapeutic twist. Left hand on the floor, right hand to our hearts. Lengthen along the collarbones, keeping the pelvis steady, turning over towards the right and reaching up. And then slide the hand across the heart as you come back down and find the anchor again through the right hand. Inhale, slide the left hand on up to the heart and then up to the sky through that arm, looking over to the side. Steady pelvis, sweep back down, right across that heart so we keep that connection nice and electric and alive. Take the hands down again as we drape one more time. And then fingertips on the floor, pull back towards the body, flat back, hands on the hips as we hinge on upward. And then heel toe yourself in towards the midline, back to mountain in the middle. And then we're going to come down to the base of our mat, and so that the mat is behind us. Yes, nice. Let's do some tapping so that, again, you keep everything unified through the breath. So we're just going to tap the top of the crown of the head, around the scalp, gentle tapping with the fingertips here. And then down the side of the neck, keeping the knees soft here. Let's tap in front of the chest, down one arm, down the other. And then take one hand to the back, the upper back, and then the other. Connecting, and then the ribs, front and back. Belly, low back. Bend the knees as we begin to hinge the hips forward and just tap down the thighs and the back of the thighs and the hamstrings. And then down to the shins and the calves. And down to the feet, and the hands find the floor. Take the head down and walk the feet back. We'll take a down dog, or you can just come down onto the belly or tabletop. Feeling that if you do get the down dog going, we can have those hamstrings pedaling the heels, so we feel the lengthening from the sits bones down to the heel. Strong connection there. Breath follows movement, movement follows breath. As we ease the shins down to the floor, we're going to switch it up. So we're on our sits bones. So switch it up to that seated position on the way down. And then take ourselves to the side where we'll end up in a bridge position. And we're going to take ourselves into some nice core work from the floor. So take the feet to the floor, bend the knees. So we'll take a building the bridge and then just a bit of a walk under the bridge or a dance under the bridge. Let's take the fingertips and touch the heels. So we set ourselves up nice and aligned here, landing on that horizontal of the spine. And now it's horizontal, so it's like a nice riverbed flowing the energy and the nerves out towards expansive place in the body. Roll the shoulders away from the ear. Roll the shoulders towards the floor. Find the framework again, the ribs to the shoulders. And then we're going to curl the navel towards the floor as we exhale. As we inhale, lifting the navel towards the sky, we're going to feel that sacrum rolling a little bit on the floor as we build this bridge upward. Using the back of the ribs, don't forget that engagement in the back of the ribs as you curl the navel towards the spine. So we're using those strong connections to tap into deep, big muscles. Pressing the arms into the floor. Continue this movement, fluid. Inhale, exhale, lift the back off the floor, so the back of the sacrum and the pelvis, but continue to feel the back ribs connecting to the floor as you build on up and just lift on up, feel the glutes and then down again. Inhale, re-engage, exhale, lift on up. And then we'll close that drawbridge down, inhale. Re-engage as you exhale, curl and lift up. Now, when you've reached that length of bridge or height of bridge that you'd like, just hold here, rolling shoulders back so we engage the arms. Press them into the floor, palms into the floor. Hold here. We're going to take this down one more time, and then when we go back up, we're going to lift the right foot off the floor about an inch when we go up. So lift up. We're going to just walk under this bridge, lifting the right heel off the floor. If you don't want to lift the whole foot, you can just lift the heel. But notice you want to stay steady through your pelvis as you do this, keeping that left glute engaged. Slightly lift the right foot off the floor and then down. Following the steady breath to steady the body. Inhale, exhale, lift up and down on the right side. One more time, heel or foot up, and then back down like you're closing the drawbridge. We get a nice, refreshing, re-energizing breath here. Inhale, exhale, tracing the line of the spine, pulling into the midline and then curling on up. Find the height that you're comfortable with. We'll take that left foot, heel or foot off the floor, an inch or two. Remember the back of the ribs, just keep that nice connection, gentle pressure, so you're getting those deeper abdominals engaged. And then ease yourself down. Okay, bring the knees together, the feet wide apart. And we'll just take an easy pose here. Inhaling and exhaling. Feeling that warmth you've created. Nice. Awareness, attention, mind and body. Let's bring the knees apart and we'll take a block or a blanket underneath the sacrum, lift up, slightly bridging so you take that block to the sacrum or a blanket. Let's bring the arms back down on the floor. This time, let's take the elbows into the floor, fingertips up towards the sky. So we're really pressing through the arms, feeling that engagement and strength of big muscles. Keeping that sharp arrow of your fingertips up towards the floor. We're going to lift the right leg up towards our 90 degrees. Exhale, engagement through the abdominals, lift the left leg. Inhale again. Feed that oxygen as you lift the right leg up towards the sky and the left leg. So take the angle that's comfortable for you. If the right angle is not so great, take it towards a diagonal. And then take the arms down. So the full arm is on the floor. We're just taking a shoulder stand here. So we, again, feed the brain through the spine, through that diagonal flow of energy. Inhale, exhale. Heel to sits bone connection. Bend the knees, bring them towards the body, and then straighten again into our candlestick legs. Slide the legs out towards a V and then back together through that strength of the inner thigh. And bend the knees. Inhale, exhale, fortify into those abdominals and allow one foot to drift down and then the other. Inhale, exhale, lift the hips up and remove the block and then close that bridge down. And then you can grab a strap. As we take a strap twist, supported twist, inhale the right knee towards the face. And then we'll take that strap around the ball of the foot, supporting the base of the foot, appreciating the energy of those base of the feet and how they keep us grounded. We sense them always below us, except in this case. Keeping that left knee bent, let's bridge ourselves up. So we end up on our left side, keeping the left knee bent, holding onto the sides of the strap with the left hand. And lining up our spine, taking the right hand to the heart, elbow to the sky, open up to a twist. Still lengthening through the back of that right leg. You can grab your left toes only if that's been part of your practice to do that quad stretch. But definitely no over efforting, just accepting where you're at. Allow the eyes to gaze over towards the right. Continue to soften. Gazing back up towards the sky. Sweep the right arm up and meet the left hand as we come on back up with our right leg upward. Bend the knee, releasing that hamstring into the other side. Left knee towards you, and we'll strap that ball of the foot. Finding the shape here. Using the right foot to bridge on up. As we come on over to a twist, so our right knee stays bent, straight left leg, hold on to both sides of the strap. As we line up the back of the skull and the sacrum, take the hand to the heart, Elbow to the sky on the left side, and open up that energy towards the sky. The exhale settles us back of the ribs. You can find the toes on the right if you'd like, or soften into the twist, looking over towards the left, keeping that pressure on the strap with your left foot. And then releasing by coming back up, using the right foot for leverage, back on up, left foot to the sky. Just feel that, visiting the hamstrings for a moment here. And then bend the left knee towards the face and release that foot. Knees together, feet wide apart. Strap over to the side. From here, we'll take the palms again up towards the sky, open up the arms so they're about 8 inches away from the body. Press through the elbows, lift that heart upward, press the shoulder blades together, and sigh out as you release towards the floor. So we're just easing through the low back here with the knees bent. And then straighten out your left leg when you're ready. And your right leg, keeping the feet flexed for a moment. Inhale, exhale, and allow them to release out to the side, hips open, just naturally flowing. As we come back to that 3-part breath, belly, ribs, chest, chest, ribs, belly. With our awareness, as we close the eyes, we'll take that inward approach again, scanning, sensing what kind of change has occurred by sending this flow, this practice through the body and the mind for our lovely hour together. Scan with your third eye from the toes, feet, the shins and the calves, the hamstrings and the quadriceps and the knees, the hips, the pelvis and the sacrum, the organs, the spine, the whole spine, the ribs and the shoulder blades, shoulders, arms and hands, fingertips, collarbones, the neck, the throat, the face, the ears, the tongue, the eyes, the brain, skull and the scalp, and the crown of the head, and the whole body, the whole body. Wiggle the fingers and the toes, and bend the elbows and the knees. Roll onto your right side, away from your heart. of feeling the flow of energy. Ease yourself out to seated. Finding the spine lined up again, hands at the heart in prayer position. May the whole body find healing. Thank you so much for joining me in this practice today. Namaste.